Good morning, everyone. This is Anne Marie. Today is Wednesday, October the 17th, and this is a look at SPY on the daily. See what it is that we are set up to find. We do have a gap that's sitting here, yet another one. So we have a little gap here, and we have a little gap here. These little gaps do, as I mentioned a couple of days before, they stay open if they're particularly small. This one, yeah, actually that one's pretty small too. Well, maybe not so small. That one might rear its head in months ahead. In any case, what did we do yesterday? We gapped up and moved right into this resistance region right here. We had talked about it, 145, 60-ish area. Now what's next? Here we've got this area right here. Well, let's take a look at the formation, right? We could easily be in some kind of uneven flag, right? You know, we measure that flag. We can do this. Charts are by Motive Wave, folks. I think they have a YouTube channel. Might want to visit there if you like. That could be the flag pattern that we're in, and in which case, you know, right up here over this resistance region might be a breakout formation. But here's what we have to think about. We're in a space where we've had a high, a lower high. Is this going to be a lower high? I don't know. You know, we had a good size move yesterday, so we might digest. This is options expiration week, and so we normally have one mover in the day, in that week, and then things get kind of flat. So that might be the case. We might end up sitting around here. We might end up having some kind of doji event like this. Or if it's like our typical lack of momentum events, we end up having strings that look like that on the day. Not particularly friendly, but it is what it is. If we fail this region, folks, and we come down, the line in the sand for whether we go lower is going to be right here at 44, 144.62. Right? It's going to be the base of that candlestick, 66. Because then it's going to come into the gap, and what it will do is confirm another lower high. Now, how do you absolutely confirm that you've got downside momentum? Well, it's if it breaks serious support, which is, this isn't serious support, but it is a good region of support, right? But if it comes down into here and begins to bounce, it means we've got sideways action. This is the initiation of the short. The rejection here, for me, if I'm in the trading room, which I am every day, I will look for the loss of, say, this region, just under 145. If I get under 145, I can say, all right, I believe I'm in a continuation short, and I can begin to step down short into this region. If I come into a higher low, right, I hold this level as support. What it's telling me is, one, I'm in a sideways channel, or two, I just had an unusual amount of pressure here that's going to get overpowered. What do we need to think about? These moving averages are very, very healthy, right? There's nice, straight, solid, upward. We've come in to test them. We're popping off of there. That's a very, very typical buy space. Notice the last time we sat at the 30. What did it do there? It popped to the upside. Last time it sat at the 30 there, it popped to the upside. Here, to the upside. Here, it broke down to the 50 and went to the upside. So, since June, anytime we've come into the 30, we've recovered it within 2 days. And here we are again. What's my mind? Well, you guys know I've been bullish this whole time, right? in my mind, this ought to breach and we ought to carry on. Could we get a little noisy up here? Yes, we could. Could we pop back down here, fill the gap, get noisy right here? Yes, we could. But as long as we're holding that 50, which we broke for one day in July, we haven't broken that since then, right? Well, we did break it here, but then we recovered it the next day, right? We have not had 2 days underneath the 50 in quite some time, right? And it recovered shortly afterwards. So there's a lot of upside momentum sitting here in the charts. That's the bottom line for today. The breach of 145.67 or the pullback, fill of the gap, and a bounce to the upside. I, in this case, would not consider a counter trend short. I would consider, even though it's short, the action is short here. I believe that being short would be counter trend. And I would not be inclined to take a counter trend short here at this time, but I do expect it to come into maybe 144.05, hold the level, and then move forward, right? And I will tweet something on that if we see it running into that region. We'll go from there, right? We do want to see whether we are out of this little downward flag action here. Could be that we have a bit more to do. You know what I'm saying? Could be that we need to visit here again. There are a number of different formations sitting in here that really make this kind of messy. But again, if we go very simplistically, holding the 50, holding the 30, the last several months we have held the 30 and held the 50. We should expect that we do that again here also. Look at the SMI moving back to the upside. We did see this. I did talk about it yesterday, that things were moving there, that we expected the pop, and we did have it. And I think there's continuation. Could it be that we come back and take a breath and say, all right, let me make sure this door is closed here at 144.26? Yes, we can. So let's look for that and be careful trading.